Don't miss this move in Bitcoin, guys. Don't miss it in this video. Let's talk about $100,000 is on the table this week, my friends. I'm super excited. As you know, I have ton of position in Bitcoin and I have been providing regular updates on my YouTube channel on Bitcoin. I'll provide a recap here as well in case you haven't checked out some of the last videos. But before going further, as always, none of this is any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. $100,000 is what I have been saying. After we complete this pullback, we're gonna shoot to $100,000. I have been telling you this is just a pullback, guys. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Alrighty, so look, let's turn on my tools here because things will get very clear. I just turned them on. Easy peasy. You know where to make money, long or short, both sides, but you know where to take those plays, right? So as I have been saying, 89,000 above, we will turn bullish again. You can see my tools gives the confirmation, right? And I said that it's okay. $94,000 is where we will do a pullback. Okay, one of the zones. I expected that. I mentioned that. I called it out. We did a pullback at a significant level, marked by my tools, all automatically for you. Then we did a pullback, and I have been saying it's okay. It's an overall structural pullback. Yes, on the lower time frame, we are a little bit weakening, but it's a pullback on the overall structure. So let's get to the hourly interval. All right. So on the hourly interval, all right, we finally are getting above those levels that I have set previously, 91,200 around, technically around 91,170 around. And then the next is 92. Right now, 92,120. Right now, we are a little bit rejecting there. However, structure is just fine. Let me show you on the hourly interval as well. Let's turn on my another tool again. So you can see this is where pullback began when we were getting below the cloud. And this is where we are above the cloud as well. And you can see structure is also bullish right from there. So again, like if you need access to my tools, check out the details in the description of this video. Don't trade blindly, trade with clarity. You need to know where to buy, where to short. My tools will help you in all of that. Now, as I have been saying, I have high conviction that Bitcoin will push up, but I do want to raise a caution as well. And then I'll talk about my position as well. And then I'll talk about $100,000 possibility in this week. Okay, so the caution that I want to raise is market, whenever it opens Monday morning, the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ 100, oh well, you get me, not NASDAQ 100, but NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange, right? These both exchanges, when they open, Bitcoin has a tendency to flip, okay? So sometimes it does, but lately it has been doing that quite a lot. Last week it didn't do that. It pushed up in the bullish structure because we had a bullish breakout already, as I showed you on my tools. So, and that's where I want to raise a caution. If we close tomorrow's session anyhow below 90,345 or around 89,363 is a problem. Then $100,000 is not happening. But are we seeing that right now? No. So what I'll tell you is, if on the hourly interval, hourly candle turns red on my tools, and or we get below the cloud on the hourly interval, let's get back to the hourly interval. So when just about market open, New York Stock Exchange, all right, let's turn my tool on here. And either you see on my tools any of the structure turned red, and if we start to close hourly candle below the cloud, wherever that would be, it's all in real time. My tools takes care of everything in real time. Then if we lose the cloud, the play is over, guys, at this point, because at this point it all comes down to we need to see a support in this push up when the regular market is also open, okay? Because that's where now the most of the institutional money flows, okay? Most of the ETFs of the spot, Bitcoin and all are, they are like the backbone right now of the institution money, right? So, and that all happens during when that type of market is open, right? The New York Stock Exchange, right? So anyways, things are those still bullish. Now, let's talk about my position here, because I told you that I did bought, so I did buy a lot of back down over here. I did videos as well about it, and I bought here. I didn't buy anything down here, but then I loaded more with the breakouts here. I told you about all of that as well. And then I took some only 5% position out of my original size up here at 94 around, which I also told you that was my plan. And because I expect a pullback, we got a pullback. And then I said, I'm waiting for a breakouts of the levels. So I did add more because at one of the levels of 91,170 around. And now I want to see the more position if I'll add, either I see before 92,000, before regular market opens tomorrow, as if I want to see price action around 92 and above. So carefully watching hourly interval, and I'm gonna add more to the position, but I'm gonna really closely watch when the regular market opens tomorrow, the price action on my tools. And that way I'll make a decision if I want to add more or size down. And I already told you where the stop loss has to be below those zones, right? 89 to 90,000 below, like that's a full hard stop loss, right? I'll still be able to get out in overall profitable position in this, even at around 89, but it's just going to be a negligible profit. So, but that's where the structure break is actually right now. So anyways, now the last topic that I want to talk about before wrapping up, well, we'll take a look at the weekly interval as well. So there is one more thing actually, sorry. So 100,000 guys. So look, if things goes everything as in the direction of the bullish structure right now, as when the regular market opens tomorrow, there's a lot of, if we head in this direction, we can definitely, there's a high likelihood we can test $94,000. All right. So Monday of last week, this is where we were, which we are already higher above that. And in a single day, it did 94,000 that very session. I do think that we will most likely test the 94 tomorrow itself. If we do it, that's great. That opens up by Friday. Excuse me. Definitely, we have a room to test 100,000 on Bitcoin. So it all comes down to tomorrow, how the session starts and how it closes. If we get closer to 94, most likely we are pushing up then 200,000 by Friday next couple of days. Okay. Now let's get to the weekly interval. So weekly interval, so far so good. You know, it's technically on the weekly. 100,000 is our near-term target. As I have said previously, after and beyond $100,000, I first want to see when the price gets to 100,000, what is the price action looking like? That will give me some, you know, data points that do we have enough strength to break out, right? But right now, weekly interval is in the rebound overall. Daily is turning bullish. Lower time frames are bullish. Weekly is in the rebound. But $100,000 is the target for that rebound on the weekly, which on the daily is still bullish. But so yeah, everything is good. You know, it's all about, as I said, it all comes down to when the regular market opens tomorrow. We need to see a continuation. It's very important. We don't want to see a sell-off. Okay. All right, guys, that's all I had for you in this video. Enjoy the ride. And with that, I'll see you in the next videos. Take care. Bye.